welcome back to the channel. Here we are down at Hinds Dam on a bit of a wild and woolly late spring day in southeast Queensland. So if you're not from this area, yeah, Hinds Dam, Gold Coast hinterland. Back at Hinds Dam actually. Yeah, so 3,500 Ks on the Transalp here. It's a 2025 model. It's got all the accessories on it. This is supposed to be like a limited edition. That was my old seat for my 23 model. I had a bit of a backstory. I owned a 23 white colour model of this bike, and this seat was a low seat. I'm a short person, as you can see there. See that? If you're, this is a tip, if your waist where your leg meets your torso is just a little above your seat, you should be okay. If you come to a bike and it's your waist's not even at the seat, it's going to be too tall for you. If it's a soft suspension, it will sag a bit, like the Rally. But if you get most bikes, you need to have good contact with the ground with your feet. I've got a 28-inch inseam. So this has been reduced in seat height from 850 to 830 mil. So it's 830 mil, which is still quite tall for, I know it's touted as an adventure bike, but it is a road bike. It is so much fun to ride on the road that you probably spend 95%. So when you come into a stop, it is more critical on a road bike to have a good purchase with your legs on the tar, because you're going to come to an uncambered stop signs, give way signs, hilly, where you've got a lot of traffic in front of you, and it's a decline or an incline. You want to make sure when it's a cambered road, so you got to drop off on that side or drop off on that side or drop off on both. You can get your feet down in most situations on a heavy bike. A lot easier on a light bike, because there's your bike, you're a light bike, you can lean that bike over and put your foot down a lot more. You try and tip one of these bikes over, coming to a stop, and it can tip over. It's 208 kilos. This bike weighs 230 with all that luggage on it. Our techniques used to combat that tip, but basically progressive braking. Don't suddenly grab a brake when you come to a stop, and sometimes it doesn't matter how experienced you are, but you have a sudden unexpected stop situation. Come in, just say you're going slowing down, and all of a sudden the car just whatever it is, and you just brake and you let go of that brake. Instinctively, or you put your brake on, and you'll get fork rebound. So if you ever suddenly have to put that brake on and you come to stop, try and hold that brake in if you can, and somehow get a foot down before you release that brake. Lots of people tip over, they grab a brake, they let go, fork rebound, they have a wheel normally turned, and they fall over on the side, the wheel's turned. It's pretty complicated in a way. A lot of things you don't have to think about it if you're a taller rider or you're on a lower seat bike. But if you're a shorter rider on one of these, just got to have your wits about you. I wouldn't recommend. I'm 172 centimeters, 28 inch, but my leg inseam's an important one, and how long your arms are. Obviously, you sit on the bike. How far do you have to lean to actually, because you want to be in an upright position. That's why you buy a bike like this when you're doing the majority of your riding. So if you can barely touch the ground and your legs, and you're so short that you've got shortish arms, it's not a good combination. You're going to be like this. You can get bar risers, tilt your bars, so that's maybe not critical your arm length as much. You can, but you've got to adjust your seat height. You've got to get a lower seat, lower your suspension, which brings you down from your, so it's less distance. But make no mistake, 208 kilo bike, or any bike over 180, 175, 180, if you're a shorter rider, especially if you're a learner rider, and I don't mean that, or you're an older rider, plenty of experience, but you've lost a bit of your core body strength like I have. I'm on the wrong side of 31 years old, closer to 60, and I've lost after surgeries especially, I've lost a bit of core body strength, and it just happens, nothing to be embarrassed about. That's what happens. In fact, it's pretty good that we keep riding at an older age, in my opinion. Alright, so as you can see, I get on the bike by standing on the left hand peg. Ooh, see that? I've just put my bike off this fan. No, we have a little fins. That can embarrass you if you're not concentrating, because what it is, I don't know, yeah, my phone's here. There's not too many situations where we're trying to prop up an object that weighs 208 kilos, is it? So our mind is like, not really accustomed, unless we're riding every day, it can forget, oh shit, I'm sitting on something that weighs 200 kilos plus, and I've got to keep it upright. So you think all the times when you've been at home and you're doing the same thing over and over, you're getting up off your chair to go to the fridge, say, or to the toilet, or to walk to your veranda, whatever you get up off your chair for, you do it 99 times, no worries. What about those times where you've got a bit of a cramp in your leg, or you've left your pair of thongs on the floor, and you've sort of just